And now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, BRimes.
All right, welcome to the show. Thanks for spending some time with us here. We really appreciate all the uptick in calls lately, people reaching out, all of our loyal listeners and audience out there. We're doing lots of deals with you, and it really means the world to us. Support all of our show partners, supporting the local economy by supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show and all of our expert contributors. Greatly appreciate it. ConsumerQB.com. It's a wealth of information. You can see all of our previous shows. So if you check out ConsumerQB.com, you can also submit an email form right there on the website. We're going to go over the hottest and coldest real estate markets in the United States. Interesting report that just came out. We're going to dive into that. Also, we have Rodrigo Torres and Aspen, the mold detecting dog, in studio with us as well from Mold Solutions, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, Mold Solutions. Shane Socash joining us as well from David Reynolds, Jewelry and Coin. Also, billionaire pays $55 million in cash for a vacant lot, an undeveloped lot. Where is that? That's the east coast of Florida. Really hot over that way. Yeah, go figure, right? So, hey, we got another party coming up. It's time to promote our next gratitude party, business mixer. And I got to tell you, the last one was just great. We had a great time. We had, folks that are coming to, talk a little bit to our team, people that are wanting to talk to some of the radio show expert contributors. And what a great place. What a great venue Crown and Bull was, David. What a great time. We're going to be back there July 3rd, 6 o'clock, celebrating Independence Day for the good old United States.
And Independence Day theme, too. So
that's right.
Come wearing your red, white, and blue that day.
Yeah.
So Crown and Bull, fantastic place. The atmosphere is fantastic. Even the outdoor area, the private room that you had reserved for us last time actually worked out really well.
Yeah, it was great.
Appetizers were fantastic. Those are obviously always covered by the MVP team. So, yeah, Thursday, July 3rd, day before 4th of July. Come down 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. right in the heart of downtown Dunedin at 319 Main Street, right downtown Dunedin.
It's going to be a great time. Going to have a lot of fun. Come on out and join us. And that's just our way of giving back. It's a free event. Come on back and come on down and join us and have fun and network. You meet some of our real estate team. Hey, if you're looking to buy, sell, invest, we can help you get started there. And if you're looking to sell a property, you know that we always feature our listings live on air, maximizing the exposure and the profit on the sale of our real estate listings. That's our highest priority, is to our sellers. That's our highest duty, is to maximize the exposure and the profit on the sale of the real estate by featuring the listings live on air. And that's going to result in a shorter marketing period, higher profits on the sale. So here's a couple of hot listings from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, 221 Howard Drive. Beautiful listing here. This is a $2.75 million listing. It's luxury international through the Keller Williams platform. 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 3,500 square foot. You've got an exclusive Bel Air Beach location. Gorgeous 3-island kitchen with Thermador appliances, saltwater pool, 100 feet of water frontage, deep water access to the Gulf of America. Historic Howard Drive boasts one of the highest land elevations in the area, and you're only one block to the beach access where you can see the dolphin-filled water, sugar sand beaches, beautiful Pinellas County. That's Bel Air Beach, Florida, 221 Howard Drive. Great opportunity to buy real estate. All right, let's also take a look at another townhome at 2547 Lexington Oak Drive. This is a beautiful property. I love this, out in Brandon, which is just a quick, short commute from downtown Tampa. 3 bedrooms, 3.5 bath, 1-car garage, 1917 square feet, new flooring, fresh carpet. You've got your level 2 EV charger out in the garage. You've got a community pool and a beautiful kitchen here, lighter color kitchen cabinetry, and a beautiful breakfast bar, island bar there. Stainless steel appliances, low HOA. That covers a lot. 2547 Lexington Oak Drive, Brandon, Florida. And you can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Yeah, I'm raising my glass to those saving our ass overseas.
That's right. Shout out to Anthony and his team over at American Gutter Solutions. They offer free estimates. Anthony did a great job on some repairs at my home. I still had some hangover hurricane damage from the previous year. Something simple. It was a downspout that came from my second level up there, downspout. So Anthony came out, did a great job. American Gutter Solutions. Anthony is a great guy. He came out and jumped right on the project, knocked it out in about an hour or so. Free estimates. It's family owned and operated. And I picked up his card, by the way, over at Florida Firearms Academy, Thomas King and the crew. So if you know anything about Thomas and the company that he keeps over there, Anthony and his team do a great job. American Gutter Solutions, free estimates, family owned there for all of your gutter needs on your single-family homes. Billionaire pays $55 million in cash for undeveloped lot in Florida, bringing his total spend to about $94 million to build his dream retreat. So we're going to talk about some of the most expensive, some of the hottest markets, and some of the coldest markets in the state of Florida. But let's jump into our content with Rodrigo Torres back in studio. Welcome back, sir.
Good to be here, Brandon. How you doing?
Yeah, man. Blessed and highly favored. Absolutely. Living in paradise. We live in the best place to be. We're in a free country still, and despite what the left tries to do, repeatedly. But Absolutely. What a great place to be, man. Great place to live, work, and play. And, the ability to own businesses, to have free markets, free capitalism, it's alive and well.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're experiencing that. And by the way, I'm very excited about your upcoming gratitude party.
Yeah.
So count us in.
Love it.
We're coming. Dressed up red, white, and blue all the way.
That's right.
So we're excited about what's happening with you guys, and thanks for having us. There's a lot to cover. Aspen did a fantastic job yesterday, by the way.
I love it.
She scoured through and sniffed out mold it was a 10,000 square foot mansion.
Wow.
And we work really well with mold testers. We have a very good relationship because we can't test as a remediation company.
Sure.
But Aspen is not considered a tester. She's a screener.
Got it.
And so we worked hand in hand. It was a great experience for the homeowner, for us, for everybody. And you just wouldn't ever know to look in this one spot in the house. It was a master bathroom. There was a little bit of separation and a tiny little stain that, the tester's not necessarily going to know that because only a dog has the nose a dog has.
Yeah.
Right? So Aspen was able to detect this spot that you couldn't see unless you really looked at it.
Wow.
And she laid down, that's her signal that, yes, there's mold there.
Yeah.
Sure enough, me and the tester took a closer look there. And a little bit of separation on the baseboard, a little bit of staining, right? And then we open the vanity, and sure enough, there's dark water stains on each corner.
Right.
And it just revealed that, yes, there was a leak under this vanity, and yes, this needs to be taken care of.
Right.
So that's the value of Aspen. She's been doing great, and she's been having a fun time, and that was a really fun home to go through.
Yeah,
so
I'd say
cute.
so. 10,000 square feet.
Adorable.
That's a big house.
Yeah, it was very big, and the homeowner was very nice and let her run in this huge yard that she had back there as a reward, and we treated her, and she's very happy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, was there any other mold detected, or was it just that one spot?
There was kind of like a garage area that was turned into another room, but there was some water intrusion from the hurricane. Just at the base of that part of the house, and Aspen sniffed it out. The tester confirmed, right?
Yep.
And she did a really good job yesterday. Very, very proud of her work, and she's available if anybody doesn't want to tear down their walls yet and their suspect stuff. Have Aspen come out. She'll sniff it. She can detect 4 different kinds of molds, really the dangerous ones. Stachybotrys, Chaetomium, the no-tolerance type molds, Aspergillus, Penicillium. So she's been doing a great job out there.
Yeah, absolutely. If you just joined us, by the way, we're talking with Rodrigo Torres, moldsolutions.com and moldsolutions.com. Consumer hotline is 813-917-1894. You can call or text that hotline, any questions you have. And again, just a reminder about the show. Think about us as the hub of your financial, your business, your real estate will. Each one of those spokes extending out from that center hub, which is the show. The show is that center hub for your local information. Each one of those spokes extending out from that center are going to represent another one of our attorneys, CPAs, financial advisors, home service providers, all different types of. We've got auto industry covered. We've got the boating and yachting industry covered. We've got private pilots. So lots of ways we can help you here. Of course, mortgage, real estate, title, insurance, all that good stuff. 813-917-1894. Just call or text the show hotline. And our promise is to get back to you before our head hits the pillow. I've got an interesting story here, too. We're going to definitely dive more in with what Rodrigo and Mold Solutions can cover. I wanted to get to this story before we get too deep here. So there's a website out there, it goes by the Z word there, but they did an analysis. I don't like to promote them on air a whole lot, but you've got 250 large metro areas, housing markets in the United States. And what they've done is they've identified the 10 hottest and the 10 coldest. So I thought it might be fun to have a little trivia here. So the hottest, and you think about it too, it's almost like what goes up when you think back to COVID, right? And you think back to the China virus. When what goes up fast, sometimes slow comes down fast too, right? Like we saw that with the '08 meltdown, the mortgage meltdown, and history kind of leaves clues. Success leaves clues as well, as one of Tony Robbins' sayings. But when you see markets go up fast, come down fast, it changes things. But here's the heat map, by the way, just kind of showing you like the Northeast. If you're looking on our YouTube, Northeast, our Rumble channel, Midwest, you got some Midwest there. But number one, according to them, as far as where sellers have the most power, okay, you're talking about negotiation power for sellers. Okay, so that's Rochester, New York, Buffalo, Charleston, West Virginia, Syracuse, Hartford, Albany, Manchester. You wouldn't think of those cities, right? Typically, that's not top of mind. You wouldn't think of those cities being as hot markets. But, they've been kind of moderate for a while. Some people are moving from the city, New York City, urban areas, getting out a little bit western, but, out of the cities, things like that. Boston, Massachusetts on that list at number 9. Number 10, Lansing, Michigan. Now, the coldest markets, this is where things went up fast, come down real slow, and then maybe there's other maybe job types of situations where you're not having as much attraction to that area. Professional sports teams, things like we have 40 miles of beaches here in Tampa Bay, over 46 miles of beautiful, sugar sand beaches. But when you look at the coldest markets, where the buyers have the most bargaining power, at number 9 is Punta Gorda, Florida. That's Charlotte County. So that's down in Port Charlotte. Do you guys service that area, by the way? Do you go down that far?
We have. Obviously, there's a cost to go that far, travel expense. But yeah, I mean, we'll go anywhere. We've done stuff in Jacksonville. We've done stuff, I think, a job down close to Miami. But generally speaking, we try to stay as local as we can. But if it's somebody that really needs that attention to detail, top expert, top-notch remediation, then we'll never say no.
I love it. And it's not that far. It's like an hour and a half.
Exactly,
roughly.
yeah.
And then you got Cape Coral coming in at number 6. Cape Coral, again, a lot of building going on. You got those canals that were just dug, and there's houses, there's roads. For years, I remember no houses, so now they finally filled that in. So that's one of the markets that we consider cold, where buyers have the most power. And then number 5 is Naples. So Naples is also another high-end spot. That's another high-end community, and where you're going to see the equivalent, I've heard it said, as the equivalent of the West Coast Palm Beach, the Palm Beach of the West Coast. And that's where you see a lot of the the markets. I got another story we'll get to in a little bit, but back to Rodrigo here. So Rodrigo Torres, what are one of the number one misconceptions that you find when it comes to mold solutions, people's health in general? What's one of the biggest misnomers that you find?
I'll give you an example. This actually happened this morning on a call I took. A customer called in. She said, "I've been dealing with mold toxicity. I started a protocol from a doctor who told me to do this. Holistic doctor said do this and this and this, and you should feel better." She did blood work tests, and it did show, yes, you do have mold in your system. So she was not recovering at a speed that she was happy with. So the doctor said, well, you need to check out your house, right? And so I'll tell you one of the things that has come up, and it came up this morning in this conversation. She said, my husband, and it's a funny dynamic between husband and wife, right? He's the one usually saying, It's not a big deal. You know, he doesn't feel anything. He doesn't see anything. He doesn't necessarily agree with the cost and all that stuff, right? Yep. Sometimes that's that way. Sometimes it's not. But in this case, it was, right?
Do you find, generally speaking, sorry to interject.
Yeah, no.
It's an interesting topic for me because I'm in real estate, obviously, and I'm meeting with sellers and buyers and husbands. Why do you find that the majority of the time that opposites attract?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. And so, yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's true.
You normally have a balance there. It kind of equals out the household
totally
a lot
true.
of times. At least that's my
I've experienced that. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And this was interesting because actually I experienced it twice in the last 24 hours where the husband, no big deal. You're overthinking this, you know. And the wife is like, no, I perceive it, and my perceptions are always right, and it's definitely there, right?
Yeah.
And so he's obviously concerned about what this is going to cost, and she's like, it's health is more important for me and the kids, you know.
Sure.
Anyways, but so she brought up a very interesting point that he was arguing, which was a misconception that I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Why is mold such a big deal in a home when we're surrounded by it outside, right? There's mold everywhere.
Yeah.
So how could it be mold making you sick if you're walking outside all the time and you're around it, right? And so the answer is, you know, it's the same thing as pollution, right? If you have outside a car running and exhausting all that pollution, it's okay when you're outside. But if you had a car running in a garage, right, where it's too much in such a small condensed area, and you're breathing that in, where it's not meant to be there,
right? On.
It's too much.
All right, we got to get to the break here. Thank you for that, Rodrigo Torres, moldsolutions.com. More with Rodrigo coming up. Also, billionaire pays $55 million in cash for an undeveloped lot. Where is that? And also, interesting story here, too. Identical twins celebrate 100th birthday and reveal tips for a long, healthy life. Feel good story of the day coming up. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rimes here. Did you know that we buy houses cash? We will close quickly and give you a fair offer on your home or residential properties, even commercial properties, and we will give you a fair cash offer, close quickly, and be diligent when you're shopping these types of scenarios, because a lot of the wholesalers, the flippers out there, they will sign you up on an as-is contract, and they will shop that contract and try to find a buyer, but they may not find the buyer, and they won't close. So this is Brandon Rimes, 813-917-1894, consumerqb.com. Brandon Rimes, we buy houses cash and fast. Attention business owners, did you know we have 100% financing options available? Our no money down program offers 100% financing for business owners. If you are currently leasing your commercial space, you can purchase real estate for no money down. Additionally, the program offers money for working capital, equipment, and business fixtures. You can even pay off current business debt. Reach out at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. BRimes at kw.com. And that is our 100% financing, no money down program for business owners. We would love to help you buying, selling, or investing in real estate. 813-917-1894. BRimes at kw.com. Ours Creole Smokehouse, the official Pinellas County restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Say hello to Doug Clark, chef and owner Doug Clark, 310 East Tarpon Avenue, Tarpon Springs, ourscreole.com. Ours Creole Smokehouse, 310 East Tarpon Avenue, Tarpon Springs, ourscreole.com. Excellent food, wonderful ambiance. Say hello to our friend Doug Clark. If you're facing an insurance claim, don't just trust the insurance company to have your best interests at heart. This is Brandon Rimes, Consumer Quarterback Show. Reach out to rightwaypa.com, our friend Derek Coble at rightwaypa.com.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
And we're back. Brandon Rimes here, Consumer Quarterback Show. Always helping you win in your real estate deals when you're buying, selling, investing. Featuring our listings on air like no other real estate company can. Daily talk show here. Multiple properties per show. All right, a couple of hot listings. Let's look at this property. Let's go back to the Claremont listing there that we have, Magnolia Island Boulevard, 17416 Magnolia Island Boulevard. We just did a significant price improvement, almost $80,000 price drop on this property yesterday. 5-bedroom, 3 full bath, 2 half bath, 2-car garage, beautiful, 3121 square feet, 1 acre of land, gated community with lake access, and you are in a exclusive community of only about 30 homes on the island, which is actually a peninsula. So it's Magnolia Island Boulevard, Claremont, Florida. Gorgeous property. You have a pool, spa package there, lighter color kitchen cabinetry, gorgeous Cape Cod inspired home. 17416 Magnolia Island Boulevard. Beautiful property. Compliments of Jamie on the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Great opportunity to buy real estate. All right, we also have another property. Let's talk about a commercial property here. 9594 Mare Camp Road, Ocala, Southeast Mare Camp Road in Ocala. $1.5 million, 5,725 square feet, 1 acre of land, thriving hardware store, lucrative income streams. Seller is open to holding paper, seller financing available with a strong down payment, multiple income streams, a thriving hardware store, Ocala, Florida. 9594 Southeast Mare Camp Road, Ocala, one of our commercial listings. And you can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, Rodrigo Torres in studio with us, and Aspen's in the house as well, mold detection dog, moldsolutions.com. Final thoughts, what else are you seeing out there? You know, here we are kind of in hurricane season.
Yep.
You got dampness happening. It's getting more humid by the day.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm getting questions about what should we do to prepare better this year round. And honestly, it comes down to making sure you're weatherproof, right? The roofs are taken care of, inspected, ceiling, windows, any kind of where water could get in, all that's properly sealed and caulked, right? Gutters, downspouts, sub pump if you have a crawl space, all that just to get the water away from the house, right? Yep. Obviously, making sure you have proper insurance and protection for your home. That's right. Key. But I will say this too, elevate as much as you can as far as for example, AC units, if you can get them where they're out of harm's way, if that's possible as a preparation.
Yep.
Electrical panels, things like that. Just those safety precautions, right?
Yep.
And then, of course, getting your home inspected. We'll come out. We'll take a look at it. Make sure there's nothing to worry about. We'll take a look at the integrity of things, right, in the home. Those are some key things to kind of prepare for and look for.
Yeah.
And just, really just making sure that you have all those preparations in place. AC units, HVAC, dehumidifiers. Those things are just some very valuable things to look into and to take care of and address.
Good tips.
Yep.
Moldsolutions.com for more information. Moldsolutions.com. Rodrigo Torres, always a pleasure having you in studio, man.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
To be here.
All right, coming up, we're going to talk about this lot, $55 million in cash for an undeveloped lot over on the East Coast. Also, the top real estate markets, according to another major player in the real estate space. And our feel-good story of the day. I love this. You got identical twins celebrate 100th birthday and reveal tips for a long, healthy life. Feel-good story of the day coming up here. Follow us online. We'd love to connect at Brandon Rimes, one at CQB Show. And please subscribe to our very popular YouTube channel, up 700% Q4 to Q1. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rimes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. We got Ray Hall joining us in studio, Ray Hall Appraisals. We're going to talk with him about the real estate market. Also, this billionaire pays $55 million in cash for an undeveloped lot in Florida, bringing his total spend to $94 million to build his dream retreat. And that's before they even start building the structure, Ray. That's a lot of money right there.
Yeah, that's, I'm trying to get there.
Manalapan. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's over there close to Jupiter and West Palm Beach. But anyways, that story's coming up. Also, some of the hottest and coldest markets. Feel-good story of the day. Identical twins celebrate 100th birthday and reveal tips for a long, happy life. Feel-good story of the day coming up as well. All right, a couple of hot listings. We'll jump right into it with Ray Hall Appraisals here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Always helping you win in your real estate deals, your buying, selling, investing. We would love to talk to you. Refinancing. We have our mortgage team as well. We can help you there. Also, got my mortgage license now. So a couple of hot listings. This one's 4798 Indigo Road, Groveland. 42 acres of land. Buy some dirt, build up there. Maybe build an estate-style home, big mansion on that property, or maybe you go to the county, Ray. You talk to the county and say, "Hey, what am I doing here?" If you got land like this, what's the first step? You want to talk to the county, find out what that future land use is, right?
Future land use, zoning, and really, a lot of other things come into play as well. Level of service of the roadway.
Yeah, level of service. Got it.
Things that So there's a lot of things that the county's going to consider.
Yep.
But that looks like a beautiful home. It looks like they got some nice finishings inside.
Yeah, they did. They
beautiful.
did that, and they kind of built that as like, hey, this is our weekend retreat. It was an existing structure. They kind of renovated it itself, and so it's a nice little temporary base for development.
Absolutely.
35 minutes to Orlando.
Yep. And sometimes people just want that nice house on some land to get away from everything.
That's right. Slow down the pace.
You and I, we're in the city environment all day, and sometimes it's nice to just walk away and just have some peace and quiet. And that looks like a great house for that lake. That's beautiful.
Yep. 4798 Indigo Road, Groveland, Florida. Another great listing. All right, let's stick with the land theme here. We got a South Taylor Road property. This one's out in Seffner, Florida, South Taylor Road. We got some acreage out here. We got 2.4 acres. Allows for up to 6 units per acre. RDC 6 is the zoning, residential duplex conventional. Owner says it's high and dry. Flood zone is X and requires no flood insurance per the owner. That's always the caveat that realtors need to throw in there, right? Per the owner.
The owner.
But when you look at a property like this, man, what a great opportunity. And again, how do you assess that? Something like that, what are you going to look at?
Once again, Seffner, great area. They've put some new development out there. You've got frontage on Taylor Road. But, it's a nice long lot. So I think his development potential is possibly there. Like you said, going off what the owner said, I've had owners be very wrong in the past. However, sounds like zoning isn't hard to find out. That's kind of the initial step, and I'm sure he's pretty accurate on that. For a potential purchase for development, I think it's great. Again, I was just down in Seffner today, and there's a lot of different things going on down there. You've got great access to I-4. You've also got, easy access to the Brandon area. That's the one thing about Seffner I think is kind of underrated, is you can get down into Brandon a little more easy than someone like me coming from New Tampa.
Right.
Who's got to fight through the traffic on I-75 or go over to MLK and all this other stuff. Seffner's kind of cool. You've got that transition kind of from I-4 down to Brandon where you can avoid a lot of that traffic on I-75.
Right.
So really, sometimes just an undervalued area as well.
Good point.
Definitely if you're looking for a piece of land, I would take a look at this one and see what your development potential is.
Yeah, I love it. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Buy dirt, find one you can't live without.
All right, buy some dirt here. So this is the billionaire pays $55 million for this cash. This is an interesting story because he says I think I actually got a deal. He said, I think I got a bargain, says McNeil, the founder of CEO of WeatherTech, a car mat manufacturer. And we were talking about car mat manufacturer, man, he's doing pretty good now. And we all see the commercials. I mean, so you can say, I had an idea for all rubber, but did you put it out there? Did you put the capital up? Did you make it happen?
I'm proud to say that I chipped in for that house because I have WeatherTech in my work car.
McNeil says, give me that's a builder, a residence, a guest home on a massive site. The work has already begun construction. We're doing amazingly functional, extraordinary, well-built, aesthetically pleasing home that's classy, not ostentatious. All right, so it talks about how there's a couple lots there already, or a couple structures on the lot. I'll show it to our YouTube audience if you're looking. The new purchase lot on the right of the land, which will be demolished. So it's this land here with buildings on it. If you can see the YouTube side there on our socials, check that out.
So it's beachfront.
Yeah, so he says it's running from the intercoastal to the Atlantic. When both lots are combined, the end result will be a compound on 3.6 acres and 340 feet on the ocean. 340 feet on the ocean.
See, that's an ideal lot, and I'll tell you why I love that. If you're on the beach, really all you can do is look at the beach, and everybody loves to do that. But you really don't have much utility because you can't put your boat lift, your dock, your all that stuff on the beach. That's why a lot of people choose to go to an intracoastal waterway.
Yeah.
You've got the best of both worlds.
Yep.
You can go for a walk on the beach, and then you can go to the backyard and go hop on your boat and take off. So, that's a lot of money for a piece of land. But,
pretty sweet, isn't it?
Yeah, but great lot. Over on this coast, that's a rare thing to have. I know of one area down in Englewood where you can have from beach to intracoastal on a lot. And there's not many of them down there. So good for him. Good for him. Good luck.
Yeah. And that's over there by Tony Robbins, who also lives in Manalapan, just 10 miles south of Palm Beach, 9 miles north of Delray Beach. Is becoming one of the go-to destinations for billionaires, just as Florida is. If you look at the tax strategy, you look at all the different combined factors. You've got 46 miles. I'm thinking about Tampa Bay here. Over 46 miles plus beautiful beaches here. But just Florida in general, all the things that we're doing, it seems to be moving us in the right direction.
Yep.
Now we just need those dang storms to stay away for a little while.
I hope so.
But that's the idea there. So all right. So next story. We have a feel-good story of the day. Every day we like to do a positive story. Let's go ahead and jump into our feel-good story of the day.
Tell me something good.
All right, so identical twins celebrate 100th birthday and reveal tips for a long life. Identical twins Bill and Jack Casey just celebrated their 100th birthday together at a retirement home in Oxfordshire, England, complete with cake, friends, and birthday cards from King Charles. Bill, the older twins, by 10 minutes, credits his longevity, clean living, staying active, determination, and good genes. Still exercises 20 minutes a day. So there you have it, feel-good story of the day. They're from South London, and they served together in the Army in 1945. And feel-good story. What do you think? 100 years old.
100 years old and World War II vets. That's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, man.
There's not many of them left.
That's right.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, the greatest generation's dying off, as they say.
It is.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. It kind of makes you think about, the role of a man today. Role of a man. I heard a great podcast from Charlie over the weekend, and I sometimes clip these out. But this is really this one hits home here.
What it means to be a man hasn't been covered.
Okay, yeah,
right?
let's talk about
to be a man.
By the way, the setting is great. I love these videos with Charlie. He's on campus. Mm-hmm. He's traveling to all these different schools, and it basically hangs a sign on the front desk that says, "Prove me wrong." Come on up, prove me wrong. What do you want to talk about? So this, and then you get some combative and some non-combative. But this gentleman was just asking, what it means to be a man.
Is to have self-control over your fleshly desires and an attitude towards courage and defending those that can't defend themselves, fostering a family towards godly purposes, and picking the fights that the rest of society should not be involved in. That's what men should do.
Wow, couldn't have said it better. I mean, you think about that, right? Yeah. What it means to be a man. There's so many things that it does mean to be a man, to be a husband, to be a father, and to be the provider and the protector. Yep. I think that's where sometimes the media wants to get it wrong, and they want to make the demasculization of the American man. We've seen that over the last 4 or 5 years, but it seems to be turning in the right direction.
Oh yeah, I think it's to a degree it's a generational thing as well. It's just things are just so much different these days than when me and you were young.
Right.
Gen Xers always love to joke around how we left the house in the morning and didn't come back till the sun went down.
Yeah.
And it's true. We did learn a lot of being self-sufficient.
Right.
Of taking care of our problems. Of if the kid was picking on you, you dealt with it.
Problem solving.
Yes, you solved your own problems back then.
Yeah.
And, these days, but to a degree, what's it led to? I used to sit there and say, oh, this generation's this generation's that. And then, you know what, though? I raised my kids.
Yeah.
They're the way they are because of me, so.
Well, there's societal influences, and there's also there's limitations with, communities and parks, and there's, things like that.
There definitely is. But, it's just definitely a different world than what me and you grew up in.
Sure. No doubt. Yeah. Control what you can control, and bringing the kids up in the church. I think that means a lot, and just being that provider. And I like what he said too. Is he said control the flesh. That's pretty obvious. The older you get, you kind of learn that one, and have an attitude toward basically stepping in where others can't. Fighting for the unborn. Fighting for the weaker in your society. I really like that what he's saying there.
Oh, yeah. Some great points there. And, really just something that, men should think about.
Yep, that's right.
What is your role? I'm fortunate right now. I'm dating a wonderful woman, and she likes to remind me what my role is.
Oh, good.
She'll tell me when something needs to be done.
There you go,
man. So,
that's right.
But she is wonderful, and it really, being in that relationship has made me think of that more. What is my role? What's my role with my daughters? Remember, I don't have sons. I know you have the little boy now. You got another one on the way, but I'm a girl dad.
Yeah.
And that was something I had to learn.
It's fun, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's wonderful. I know you have a daughter as well, and I wouldn't give it up for the world. But 16 years ago when I became a dad, it was a big change for me.
It is.
Yep. And you learn you do have to step up.
Yeah.
You do have to, quote unquote, be the man.
That's right.
And it's also, as a girl dad, it's important for me to show them how a man's supposed to treat them.
Right.
I remember my daughter saying to me, why do you keep opening the door for your girlfriend?
Yeah.
I said, don't ever date a guy who doesn't open the door for you.
There you go.
I said, that's what you do, and that's what a man's supposed to do.
Yeah.
So remember that.
Yeah.
And
set that example.
I'm hoping. I'm trying.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's always every day getting better, a little bit better every day.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Want to remind you about our event coming up as well. Thursday the 3rd, we're going to be selling Independence Day, celebrating Independence Day at Crown and Bull over in Dunedin, Florida. Come on out and join us. It's going to be a great celebration. If you haven't seen Crown and Bull in a while, there's been some remodels there. In the back, it's really cool. We're going to have Independence Day theme, so wear your red, white, and blue and come on out, and we'll have a lot of fun. So that's going to be a great time. All right, we're in studio here talking with Ray Hall Appraisals. Any kind of valuations that you want to get done, he can definitely help you with that. He is certified in residential, commercial, vacant land. Are you valuing businesses too, Ray?
I don't really do businesses.
Okay.
I haven't had much experience in that, so I think there's people out there who are better suited to help you with that. But I like I always say to people, I've probably appraised every kind of land you could think of, and probably some you've never heard of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's interesting. I think we under contract or either sold a Pinellas. I think it was a Pinellas County property. And what's the best way to say it? Adult dancing, maybe.
Okay.
One of those types of establishments. But anyways, yeah. So you said you do all kind. You're in real estate long enough. You're going to see a lot of different types of properties.
It's been 20 years now. We've talked many times about the Indian Mound I appraised down in Manatee County. That was an interesting property.
Indian Mound,
Indian Mound. So just lots of cool things I've seen. It's funny. I used to pull up to the 13,000 square foot house, go, man, this is great. I'm going to see this celebrity's house. Now I'm just thinking, man, I don't want to measure this thing.
Yeah. As much as technology and lasers will help you, it's still a chore.
I do it all on my phone now. Phone measures the house for me, does everything. It's beautiful.
It's amazing technology.
Yeah.
It really is. Speaking of hot and cold markets, this was kind of interesting because there's a website out there. It starts with Z. They put out this housing market analysis. And so it talks about where sellers have the most power, and you wouldn't think it because again, it's kind of like things go up fast, they come down fast. But one of the hottest markets, some of the hottest markets they're saying are Rochester, New York, Buffalo, New York, Charleston, West Virginia, Syracuse, Hartford, Albany, Manchester, Anchorage, Boston, and Lansing. So those they're saying are where the sellers have the most power. So there's less inventory.
Yeah.
Sellers have more power. Now, if you flip that to the coldest markets, Florida's got 3 on this list in the top 10. Punta Gorda, number 9. Cape Coral and Naples are on the list of the coldest markets in the state of Florida. Your reaction?
It kind of makes sense. Remember, we had Ian down there.
Yep.
We had our hurricanes last year.
Yep.
And what that causing is inventory.
Yep.
You know, how many renovated houses can you go buy out in the coast of Pinellas County right now?
Right.
So that doesn't shock me that that's down there, because there's a lot of inventory. There's a lot of damaged houses down there. I mean, even a year or two after Ian passed through, there was still damaged real estate, because people are going through the process of saying, can they even fix the house up? Is FEMA going to allow it?
Yes.
Is the municipality fighting with them? Are they going to fight? So that really impacts the inventory, and as you know, that's what's going to kind of cool that market off.
Yeah.
So really, I would say best advice, go to those markets, buy some property now.
Yes.
You've got a lot of room to negotiate. That's what I'm doing as well.
Yep.
And buy that property, hold on to it. You know, look for properties in areas where you can Airbnb.
Yeah.
So you can get the mortgage paid and the bills paid for the next 5 years, and I bet you'll turn around in 5 years and make a good amount of money on that.
It's all going to rebound.
You know,
it'll all rebound.
Was it Warren Buffett who said, you know, buy when people are fearful, be fearful when people are buying?
Yep.
So those hot markets, don't rush up there to go, you know,
right.
buy real estate in Rochester, New York.
That's right.
You're probably overpaying.
Yeah.
Go to the cold markets.
That's right.
Yep.
Absolutely. All right, there you have it. Ray Hall Appraisals here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon BRimes. Quick break, right back. More with Ray here in studio. Follow us online. We'd love to connect with you at BrandonRimes1 at CQB Show. Follow the pages out there for the Quarterback Show. Greatly appreciate everybody that calls the hotline as well. You can call the hotline and reach out and talk to any of our expert contributors. We've got legal covered, CPA, financial advising, home service providers, so many different ways. Of course, real estate mortgage, all the good stuff here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rimes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com for all of your non-woke American-made products. American values, Christian, conservative American values. Say hello to my business partner, Jim McCune at AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Say hello to Shane Socash, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, 4009 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg. Online at David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com for all of your precious metals and jewelry design. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Blue Moon Estate Sales of Pinellas County for all of your estate sale needs. Blue Moon
I have his number.
Reach out to Jennifer.
Yeah.
Tell her you heard about her here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. BlueMoonEstateSales.com. And stop by their store, the Blue Moon Store, at 1479 South Belcher in Largo. 1479 South Belcher in Largo. And that's BlueMoonEstateSales.com. SJ Movers and Junk Removal, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. 727-717-0846 for all your moving and junk removal. 727-717-0846. SJ Movers and Junk Removal. Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rimes. You can reach me at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. That's consumerqb, like quarterback.com. Buying, selling, investing, or refinancing, we would love to talk to you. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.
All right, we got
Shane.
Shane.
To the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back. Shane Socash joining us. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin here in just a moment. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. We're going to talk with him here in just a moment. Hot listing at 10129 Little Road. Another commercial listing from the Platinum MVP team. This one is currently operating as a commercial property with a chiropractic office on the highly visible Little Road. This property is over an acre of land, 2337 square feet, Little Road, Newport Richey, Florida. Over a dozen paid parking spaces, ADA compliant entrance ramp, and a bathroom. New roof installed in 2020. Great opportunity to buy real estate. You can see all of our listings. PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com. All right, Shane Socash joining us on the program here. Shane, what's new in your area? And topical in this mindset right now is this whole Rio. They got the Rio reset. Everybody's talking about. A lot of the different podcasters are talking about this Rio reset. I don't follow a whole lot on that international front. And, when you look at gold, silver, platinum, they're always a safe bet. What are you seeing down there in St. Petersburg, sir?
So gold is high, and we're buying a lot of it. That's the reoccurring theme week after week after week. I think people are, coming in with their jewelry box, walking out with $2,500, $3,500, $8,500, going home and telling their neighbors, and the next day we're seeing them. So we are buying a lot of gold.
Yeah, and I think it's when you look at it, I was looking at. I was watching CNBC this morning, and Don Jr. was on there, and he was talking about just the effects of the Rio reset, what was going to happen there. You got the BRICS countries. You got this certain element that's dealing in bitcoins and those types of currencies, and then right here locally. I mean, one of the key elements, I think, when you buy precious metals, you want to buy it from somebody that you can walk out and actually have the precious metal in your hand, and that's what David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin can allow you to do right there. Shane Socash.
Absolutely. I don't know any other way. That's exactly what we do. Come in, pay us, and walk out with your gold, and you have it in the instance of an emergency. We saw a lot of that during the hurricanes. We also saw it during COVID. People, not having to go into their bank accounts, they were able to grab, a gold coin and come in and make ends meet in an emergency.
Yeah, and then, there are these online deals where you're buying it or you're seeing a TV commercial and then you're buying it. And I've heard the different complaints about that and seen the podcast where people are saying, hey, I called them up. I asked for my gold. They couldn't get it to me. They told me I had to wait some absurd amount of weeks or even months to get that in my hand. So, and that's in gold, silver, platinum. That's only one element of what you're doing. You also have certified gemologists on staff. And I love that idea to be able to design the jewelry piece for that significant other, Shane.
Absolutely. So, we have all of our appraisers, our graduate gemologists. We have master jewelers, and we'll sit down and work with you and design in CAD the piece of jewelry of your dreams.
And you got graduation kind of wrapping up or going on in this time of year. Have you seen some interesting pieces lately? Any interesting story coming out of David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin?
Oh, you got me on that one. Nothing immediately comes to mind, but every single day we have people here brought nearly to tears when they come in with something they think that is worth $75 and walk out with could be $7,500. Wow. We have those every single day. We have those experiences. So don't discount what you might have laying around in your jewelry box. It can add up quick with gold at $3,300.
Wow. I love it. What's the physical location there, Shane?
Yep, corner of 40th Street and Central Avenue, 4009 Central Avenue. Been on Central Avenue since 1971.
Nice. Go visit him. Shane Socash. Make sure you let him know the real estate quarterback sent you. Shane, thanks for reaching out today. Appreciate it.
Love it. Good talking to you.
All right, buddy. Take care. All right. Hey, another great show, man. We covered a lot of territory here. We talked about the $55 million vacant lot purchase over in Manalapan. If anybody knows the proper pronunciation, let me know. I'm just guessing. I'm guessing at it. I know Tony Robbins lives over there, but the East Coast, man, lots of good stuff. Ray Hall as well joining us, and Rodrigo with Aspen, the mold detecting dog in studio with us. Ray Hall Appraisals. Get your owner's use appraisal from Ray Hall. Please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And thanks so much for supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback. Brandon Rimes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rimes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.